Okay. So today's topic, we are going to learn about filters. So when we talk about filters, we have got here filter shelf. Okay. To take you guys backward, so we have got the first filter is extract filter. Second is data source filter or a global source filter. And then when you come to the part of sheets, we are dealing with the part of filters in the creating the views. Like it may be a dimension filter, measure filter, right? So we can apply it into the view level, that is on the sheet level. Okay. So whenever you drag any dimensions or a measure into the filter, you'll find the reaction into two different forms. Okay. So when I am dragging a category, which is a dimension, I'll get this kind of options where I have got this tabs like general wildcard condition and top, where we can apply as per our situations and scenarios to get our restricted results, right? Or according to the conditions, wildcard or top and bottom. Okay. So when we drag a measure into the filter shelf, you see, you'll get another way around where how you can deal with your numbers here. Okay. So by default only you can apply any aggregations you want or you want in the form of count, right? And here in this level, if you see, we have got a basic statistical level. These are the basic ones we use day in and day out, and these are with the statistical form, right? So this is the difference between a dimension and measure when it is dragged into filter shelf. Okay. So these are the two, fields which we drag it. Apart from that, there are a lot of ways where we can connect with different sheets also. Okay. Right. So that is also we are going to learn in the filters types. Okay. So we'll see one by one. Let's create a scenario for a dimension level. Okay. So when I say dimension, so first we'll create a view where I'm trying to showcase my subcategories with the sum of sales. Okay. I'll go to the show me and choose the appropriate chart. Make it entire view. Okay. Now here nothing is applied as a filter right now. So all the values are reflecting into the view. So if I want to restrict something, if I want to restrict my subcategories, but on the basis of a parental field. So what would be the parental field for a subcategory here? Category. So I'll drag the category. Now I can choose the one which I want to showcase in my view. So let's say I want to showcase office supplies and technology. So I'm going to use the general by default, what you see here, and we are choosing the appropriate category. Okay. So in the below summary, you'll get an idea what exactly you have applied till now in this filter shelf, in this particular filter for category. So it reflects as field as category, selection, selected two of three values, right? So conditional formatting is none, limit is none. So what does it mean? We have used the general format over here. So if I click on apply and okay. So anything what you apply on a filter for a particular field, it starts to reflect into filter shelf. This gives an complete overview of which field is applied and what is the current status of filters in the view, right? So as we are seeing category into the filter shelf, right? Now we'll see the another method to get the same result. So in this case, what I'll do vice versa, the reversal of it. I'll click on furniture and I'll choose the option called as exclude. So once I click on exclude, so it says excluded one of three values. So the one which is selected is excluded. Right. So when I click on apply and okay, it works the same. Okay. Now let's take a scenario. In this case, instead of exclude, let's keep all. Now, if the condition where let's say the client asked for, I want to view only those, subcategories whose sales is greater than $10,000. So we are going to use condition. So under condition, what we have got? We have got none by default. We are going to choose by field. Why by field? Because your subcategories, right? So your subcategories are dependent upon your sales. But the question was for subcategory, right? But here we are choosing category field, which does not make sense, right? If you want subcategories with greater than 10,000, so no need of applying from the category part. So in that case, we'll remove this category outside. We'll click on subcategory and we can choose as show filter, or the best method is, once again, you can drag your subcategory into the filter shelf and choose the appropriate condition what we want. So we are saying subcategories whose sales is greater than, if you see all these operators here, right? So we can use the one which is required, let's say greater than 10,000. So I'm going to just type 10,000 over here. Okay. So I'll click on load and check. So the minimum value is 8,000. The maximum sales value is 3,35,000. So what is our requirement? Greater than 10,000 sales. So before applying it, we'll check all the values. If you see, fasteners is one of them, which is going 8,532. If you see, this is the lowest value what you're finding here. And the maximum what we are having is like 335,768 for chairs. So as per our requirement, what we are saying is greater than 10,000. So this means fasteners is not going to reflect once I click on apply and OK, because we are applying a filter greater than 10,000. So it will exclude from the view fasteners. If I click on apply, see. So what does it mean? It means that, see, subcategories, sum of sales is greater than 10,000 in the summer. When I click on OK, all the subcategories are above 10,000 sales, right? As we have excluded the part which we don't want, that is greater than 10,000 for subcategories, right? Less than 10,000. So this is the condition. So it all depends upon the scenario. If the condition was greater than equal to 10,000, so if it is an exact 10,000 also, it would be reflected, right? If I say only equals to 10,000, what would be the result here now after applying the filter? Apply and OK. See, when you're saying equal to 10,000, so it should be exact match of 10,000 number. If it is not, then it will not obviously reflect. If I say less than 10,000, what would be the answer here? Only one value will apply, that is fastest, right? So this is how it works as per your conditions, what you're going to apply. If you don't want to do this, just click on none and make it back to general. Now you see, in general, we have got on options like select from the list, custom value list, and use all. Okay. So what is the difference between select from list and use all? Okay. So the difference is, tomorrow if your data gets reduced or your subcategories got added, new subcategory got added, this use all will help you to get all the values automatically tick mark. What does it mean? See, right now, if I select from the list, what is happening? I'm getting only 17 values. Tomorrow, the 18th value gets added. In this filter, it will not be checked. We have to check in that. That is, we need to select it. The custom value itself says create your own custom list, right? Custom value lists. In Excel custom list, we prepare. What we do, we give a set of required records in the list. Same way, here we are applying for the filters. How? Let's say tables. See tables. I'll just apply tables in the filter. Or if I say phones, just check phones. If I click on apply and OK. So only tables and phones will reflect out of 17. That is custom value list. This is how it works on custom value list. See, we can do vice versa also. The one which you have written can be excluded. Reversal of it. Okay. So if I say select all, it will select all 17. But if you say that these are going to be added, your subcategory is going to be added in future. So it's better to use all. So automatically it selects the use all function. Next is wildcard. So what is wildcard here? Wildcard means yes. So contains, starts with, ends with, exactly matches. If I say contains, okay, I want those subcategories which contains ERS. See, ERS, fasteners, copiers, ERS, and binders, ERS. Right? The names which contains the alphabets what you want, or a specific text what you want. In that case, you are going to use contains. If I go with starts with, so if I say starts with A, I'll get appliances, art, accessories. Ends with, let's say, S. So most of the subcategories are running with S, all of it. There are 3 which are left out. Those are 14, 3 got left out. Okay. So you see in the general, ends with S. Right? Now, when I say exactly match, if I write phone, no. Why? We would require S to be applied. At the end, we have got S for phones. Right? So these are the different scenarios or situations. According to that, we are going to pick the appropriate, the right one to get our results. Okay. Same, you can go with the exclude part also. So any cells which are empty, if you want to include those also, it will select. So it will reflect as null in that case when it is empty. Right? So these are the different methods what we apply whenever you use like, general wildcard condition and top. Now, what if I don't select all and if I start to apply directly with top option? If I say by field and top 5, I'll write the value as like 5. Click on apply. I'll get my top 5. Okay. If I say, see, by default, what it is taking, I've selected none. But when I'm applying it, automatically it is going to use all options. If you have missed to turn on the options, and if you're not finding the result, which means you need to select all to apply the condition top and bottom, or else by default Tableau will select as use all. Okay. Now, can you, now the questions arises like, can we apply multiple filters in one particular field? Yes. Like for example, let's say I'll select all over here. I'll say ends with um, let's say ends with R, but none of them are ending with. So let's say start. So let's say S. Okay. Starts with S. Along with that, are they falling under top 5 categories or not? If I click on apply and okay, see out of 5, I am finding only 2, which are starting from S. So what does it mean? Simultaneously, we have applied 2 filters now. One to meet the condition of wildcard that starts with, and another we have got a top criteria where we want top 5. For what? For starts with S. Okay. starts with S. So this is how it is going to work when we are going to apply multiple, you know, uh, filters. Now this is a part of one field. What if I want to apply two fields? Where I'm saying like, I want my country, only Canada to be showcased. And top of that, I am saying that I want my top 10 states, performable states, right? If I select first, what you need to do is thumb rule is first select all the states, go to the top by field and choose top 5. If I want my top 5, apply and go. So what does it states? What is happening here? In this case, what is happening? Can you tell me? So what we have selected here? So what is the selection over here? We have selected Canada. Sir ji. Sir ji, good morning. Yes, tell me. See, I have not applied any wildcard condition or top here. I've just selected Canada. So what does it means? Out of two countries, only Canada on in the particular view for subcategories is going to edit filter. When I say edit filter, so what it states in this way. Okay, inshallah. If you want to test it, tell me how you're going to test it, why it is not, applied, or why there are no subcategories reflected. Yes. Yes, Anjali, can you answer it? Why it is blank? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Why it is blank? Why subcategories are not reflecting? So how you want to test it? Let's say, okay, how you're going to check it? Subcategories. How it is going to reflect without values? Obviously, values are there, right? See here scenario. The first scenario is, first we are applying on what country level? We are saying we want to showcase Canada. And in state and pro is what we are saying. We are saying top 5 states, which should reflect for subcategories. Yeah, correct. That is what we applied, right? Under the states. What is the filter applied here? Five, right? Top 5 sales for state. Now, first thing, what are you going to do? First check when you say Canada. So a basic way before applying a filter, how to test it that you have applied a filter, whether it is applied correct or not, or whether our condition is meeting or not, right? So what I'll do first, I'll drag the country and region here. I'll drag my states first. Yes. And then I'm going to drag my sales. Okay. To test it on a subcategory level. Okay. Now in this case, I want to check whether I've got two conditions. One is here, subcategories with my sum of sales. And I'm saying top, what I'm saying top 5. See, in this criteria, in this situation, in this condition, there are none of the Canada's states are falling under top 5. That is the reason. When that particular states are not performing or they're not in top 5, how it is going to reflect it? Why? That is what I'm answering here. What you understood is when you say top 5, when you say top 5, when you have got a data of United States and Canada, all those top 5 are from United States. Canada is nowhere around here in this data where they have got highest sales values. So obviously, when states are not there, how the subcategory is going to reflect, right? If what I've said bottom 5, see, all the 5 started to reflect, and that too, these are the subcategories. Select. Okay. Select. If I go top 5, obviously it will be right. And I say country, region, edit filter, Canada, top 5 by sales for Canada. Yes. What is going to happen? So you see the numbers got reduced now. Your numbers got reduced. Clear? So this is how it works. When you talk about like dimension filters. Clear? Any doubts? Okay. So when you talk about measures, how it applies it or how you can apply it is like when I say country, state, sales. Okay. I'll drag my sales is already dragged into size. I'll drag. Now, if I want to apply the filter, what I can do, I can right click and give it as like show filter. So when I say show filter for a measure, I'll get this filter card over here. Or let's say right click, I'll click on edit filter. You see, I'll get the range of values, at least, at most, and special. What does it means? Range of values. We are getting a range of values from start point to end point. So if you want to restrict this views, like let's say, I want to see the part of sales only from 50K. From 50K. See, for example, 132,000. So I'm talking about 500,000. Yes, I'm talking about 50K over here. So if I say this way, see. So it has been, your states got reduced here. So it will work according to your numbers from starting point to end point, whatever you would require. Okay. So according to the filter, you want to show the relevant values or all values in the database. You can choose any one of them. Okay. If I say at least it should be, yes, at least should be like this much, at least this much sales. So this becomes graded out. Why? Because it goes to the extent, because you're talking only, you're concerned about having less than value. Okay. And when you go to the outmost, you can change it here. Right? When you say special, all values, null values and null values. Non-null values means wherever there is no sales, you want to ignore those kind of records. In that case, you can use this non-null values. That is according to your condition you are talking about. I'm talking about the cells in the database which is empty. What do you mean by null values? Null means nothing. In the database only, your data is not available. Let's say you've got 50,000 records, out of which there are blank cells in your Excel. In that case, those are called as null values. Okay, clear? So this is how you're going to use your dimensions and measures in the view level. So this is the threshold, right? Which is also called as quick filters, right? Or a filters card where the end user can reduce or restrict it by dragging and dropping with the slider, or he can type the numbers over here. Same like the edit filter. So you are giving the edit filter option over here with the help of filters card or quick filters. Same it goes for dimension also. If I bring category as like show filter, see, I'll get this options to turn on and turn off. All right. So tomorrow we are going to learn in depth of this options, how to apply with different sheets within the sheets and whole workbook, and the different types of options of filters card with their features. Okay. So your question is the thumb rule of Tableau is whenever you drag the field, it takes some, then you add anywhere. When you're dragging your measure, it is obviously it goes in aggregation as sum, right? What's new in it? So it depends upon your situation, what you want to choose it. By default, it is sum I'm talking about. The question is, by default, why it is sum? It has to aggregate, right? It aggregates the whole column. So today, practice with your dragging your dimensions and measures into the view and practice it and come up with your doubts, whatever you have. Okay. Practice with your dimensions and measures dragging into the view and create different examples, scenarios, different test cases, conditions, apply it, test it, and then tomorrow we'll go ahead and continue with the rest of the part of filters.